Yo, what's going on, everybody? Punch here. Hope you guys are having a great day. We're just going to dive right on into this one, guys. I've been getting asked a ton on what my opinions of this game are, so I'm going to not only give you guys my opinions and thoughts on this game, but do a little bit of comparing between MW 2019 and just pretty much cover everything in between. Right off the bat, I like this game a lot. I've been playing it day one, week one, when it was only out on PlayStation, and can't really say anything bad about it. I mean, as it stands right now, I'd rate it probably a 7 out of 10. And I mean, that's generous considering I'm never going to give a COD a 10 out of 10 rating. You know, I don't think there's any, or there is such thing as a perfect COD, but the game feels all around really good. It feels similar to MW 2019, different but similar. I mean, you have to play it to really understand, but it kind of leads me into my next topic here, and that's people that haven't played this game yet that are just ragging on it. And I mean, I kind of understand why, because the last two CODs sucked. Cold War and Vanguard were not that good, and a lot of people have lost faith in Call of Duty, and I understand that. But being that this is Modern Warfare 2, MW 2019 was a really successful COD, and I figured, people that played MW 2019 would be more willing to try this game out, but people are just giving it a bad name for no reason that haven't even played it. I have people coming in on my stream, and they're like, oh, this game sucks, you can't do this, you can't do that, there's no slide canceling, I watched somebody play it, it's trash, or, I played one game, it's trash, I uninstalled it, and I'm like, you guys can't compare a beta to a 3-year-old polished MW 2019. This is a beta. It's not even the full game. The full game still has another month until it releases. And even then, it's going to have a couple months after that until it's fully polished. But, people are just being really harsh. So, if you haven't played this game yet and you're just giving it a bad name because, the past few CODs have put a sour taste in your mouth, take my word for it, and I mean, play this game, whether, you have the cash to just buy it and try it out, or you got to go to a friend's house, try it out. Put an hour or two into the game and get used to it. Like I said, I put probably an hour into this game. At first, it was like, oh, I don't know, this game feels a bit odd, but, after about an hour, I was really enjoying it, and, after that, I literally couldn't get off the game. It was just addicting. 7 out of 10 for me so far. Like I said, I mean, it's for a beta, it is extremely well. And comparing it to MW 2019, it literally reminds me of how MW 2019 was when it first came out. A lot of people are comparing the polished version of MW 2019 to this beta, but if you compare beta to beta, or even this beta to MW 2019's, release day or first release month, I mean, it feels similar, where the movement was kind of like clunky, but good. And that's how this game feels. I've been giving everybody a short answer of this game and saying like, oh yeah, it's really good, just rough around the edges. And, those edges are meant to be sanded down as we get closer to the game, or maybe a month or two after. And, people, like I said, they're just jumping the gun on it. So yeah, if you haven't played this game yet, don't just give it a bad rating, or, don't just judge it harshly because of something you saw on Twitter, or, because you watched one game and decided you didn't like it. Trust, you got to play it to, adapt to it, and you'll find out how similar it feels compared to MW 2019. With that being said, I'm going to jump into some of the I guess they just be gripes, things that I hope change before the game releases, or maybe a little bit after. First one being the menu. If you haven't seen it, the menu is a mess on this game. The UI, I mean, I don't know why they chose everything to go horizontally versus just making it vertically, like MW 2019, for example. It's like you could load up MW 2019 for the first time ever, and it would all make sense to you. This game, they put everything horizontally, and like it had everybody confused. They're like, wait, how do I get to my classes, or how do I get to this? And you got to realize like, oh, I got to scroll over to the right. You have 4 classes, you got to scroll over for your next 4, scroll over again. Like, it's just tedious. It's unnecessary. I don't know if they try to like overdo or outdo themselves and just instead made it, just overdid themselves, but hopefully it gets fixed. It's not a deal breaker. None of these are really deal breakers. They're just things that I hope to see fixed or, kind of worked out. The second one, and this one's kind of related, I guess, is the perk system. The perk system in the menu, it's the same thing. It's kind of a headache to edit your perk class because, you now have perk classes on this game. You don't just have individual perks you choose. It's like you have an entire perk class that you assign to your overall class. And I don't know. The new perk system, I like the fact that they're trying to change it up and do different things with the game instead of just the three, same old, you have your perk 1, 2, and 3 slot. But I don't think they did it right. The main problem that I'm running into with this new perk system is you have your 2 basic perks, then you have your 3rd perk that you unlock after a little while, and then you have your 4th one that you unlock. And I've had games where, I dropped 20 plus kills in Search and Destroy, and I never got my 4th perk. And that leads me into saying, there's perks like Ghost, for example, that are locked behind that 4th perk slot. And it sucks when your teammate's kind of getting bullied or beat up on, and you're getting punished for it because the enemy team is just hammering you with UAVs, and you can't use Ghost or anything because you don't have it unlocked yet, despite how your performance is doing. So, I can maybe see them doing like 3 perks and then get a bonus perk that is given to you based on how well your performance is throughout the game. But, it just doesn't make sense. And then you have perks like Overkill, for example, which I think should be, in that 3rd or 4th perk slot if they're going to do it this way, because, Overkill is super OP, man. You get 2 full primary weapons. You can have a submachine gun and a shotgun, a sniper and a shotgun, an AR and a sub, just whatever. You can have infinite different combos that can allow you to cover any range on the map at any given time. And, it's like MWII 2019, everybody abused Overkill. So they could run, Riot Shield 725 or, AS Val 725 or, just any given combo. It doesn't make sense. I would rather see them either go back to the 3 perk solution or just do maybe like a 3rd perk and then a bonus perk. I don't know. Hopefully that gets worked out, or if not, at least speed up the rate at which we get our 3rd and 4th perk. But yeah, that's, all we can do is hope on that. Hopefully they changed it up a little bit. The 3rd thing I want to talk about that is probably my biggest gripe is dead silence. So even though every creator and pro that Activision talked to or Infinity Ward talked to about this said, hey, we want a dead silence perk. We need a dead silence perk. Everybody's got headsets these days. Please give us a perk. They decided to take it amongst themselves and make it a field order again, which it's like, okay, MW 2019 had this, and, I guess we all got used to it after a little bit, but so they make it a field order, which fine, but then you not only now have to take out a little device and press it to activate it, which can get you killed, but you also are stuck with it making this loud ass beeping noise that's basically says, hey, I just popped my dead silence. Here I am. Come kill me. And I have, personally been screwed by that. I've been in 1v3, 1v4, 1v2s, whatever situations on Search and Destroy where, like Farm, for example, I'll pop it while I'm inside the mid building, and the enemies will hear me and they'll just trap me in the mid building because they heard me pop my dead silence, where, it's like, I would have been better off just not using it at all so they wouldn't have known where I was at and just try to creep around. So, if they're not going to take away the little device that you have to press, at the very least, like, get rid of that noise. That just defeats the whole purpose of dead silence. But that's really it, guys. The time to kill sucked in week 1. It's a lot better in week 2. It could probably get worked out a little bit more, but overall, I think that will be ironed out for the most part. And also, with time to kill, it's never going to be perfect because as guns are getting buffed and nerfed, there's always going to be the guns that are more OP than the other guns. So all they can really do is make a just an even level, even starting level for the guns to start on, and then you'll pick through the ones that are have a higher time to kill and a lower time to kill, and that's kind of how metas become about. So Yeah, I mean, overall, guys, like I said, if you haven't, you need to get a hold of this game. Don't just judge it based on the past 2 Call of Duties, or what you've seen some random person say on Twitter, or after watching just one gameplay. Play it yourself and see if you can adapt to it. If you still hate it, hey, that's fine. But I mean, this game's just getting a lot of hate for no reason, and I know why. It's like I said earlier, it's because the past 2 CODs have sucked. Play it, please. Try it out and give it a shot. Take my word for it. Somebody that played MW 2019 for 3 years, it's solid. It's a 7 out of 10 from me right now on just the beta. So, yeah, that's it, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed my overall review and opinions on the game. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them down in the comments. Anything, even about anything that I said, feel free to just comment down below, and I will respond to all of them, of course. Other than that, I'm out, guys. You guys have a great rest of your day.